Hey guys, and welcome to WTFn. I'm Annie.
And I'm Scott.
And let's lead in with a little porn story, shall we?
Yeah, it's TFN.
Yeah,
we
sure,
love
why
porn.
not?
Yeah, so last week we talked about how there were porn apps from My Candy. The porn company was going to put a porn app on Google Glass, but Google Glass immediately said, no, we're not doing it.
After they put all that work into it and everything?
I know, they put so much work into their porn app. So they changed their terms of service so that it would essentially not be able to be used as soon as they released it. So now My Candy's going back on, all right, well, let's read the new terms of service and see if we can get around it again. Porn will find a way, much like life. It will find a way. So you will see porn on Google Glass soon, I bet.
All right, now here's a low-tech kind of story.
Yes.
There's an artist named Kenneth Goldsmith who wants to print the entire internet.
Why?
Because that's a great idea.
Yeah, that's a good idea,
Kenneth Goldsmith has rented out a 500 square meter space in Mexico City with a 6-meter high ceilings, and he wants to fill it with the entirety of the internet printed out. Because why?
I don't know. You know what? I was thinking about this though.
Art, I guess.
I was thinking about this though. It'll be really hard to print out the entire internet because there are so many. If you're going to print it out, you need to print out all the comment threads, everything that goes with it. Also, he would have to print out takenadultoprom.com.
Yes.
He would have to print every single page of takenadultoprom.com.
I want to personally go to Mexico City to this installation and find
and knock on the door and be like, excuse me, sir, do you have takenadultoprom.com in your indexes here? No? Well, the entire internet has not been printed out, sir. You have failed. And then throw a match in there and burn it. That's what I would do. All right.
So, did you hear about this whole Sean Parker wedding thing?
Yes, I did. So Sean Parker, as you will remember, was he was Justin Timberlake in the Social Network movie. He had a wedding out in the forest, and he wanted it to be Game of Thrones or Tolkien themed or whatever. But he was all like, "Hey, man, what's cool? $1 billion," which he has. And he was like, "I'm just gonna not get any permits for this wedding and destroy a forest." So
yes, it destroyed a protected forest in Big Sur.
Yeah.
He built like stone bridges
and ponds
things that are not good for
he
rivers.
Like one of the he built a rock wall that went directly into a tree, a hundred-year-old tree, and yeah. So instead, he's like, well, I'll just do it without permits, and then I'll just pay the fines and then walk away. So he is apparently a lot of silt got into the ground and has totally destroyed the area where he had his wedding. So, F you, nature.
What an absolute dirtbag.
Yeah, totally. So Google has a new facial recognition patent. Have you heard about this? Yeah. Apparently, instead of using typical passwords, you can just make a face into your computer where you're like, and it'll let you into your email. Or that face. Yeah. So like, oh, I need to get into my email. I'm in. All right. That's kind of cool. What kind of face would you make if you wanted to get into your?
I'd make a pleasant smiling face. Like this.
What if? Well, then someone could just hold up a picture of your pleasant smiling face.
Well, someone could hold up a picture of your derp face.
Yeah. Well, I would make sure not to be photographed.
Okay.
See, because I'm smarter than that. All right.
Anyway, a lot of password stuff happening.
A lot of
lately.
password stuff. A lot of password stuff. This final story, though, is something I've always been interested in. I have followed video game history for decades now. I love it. I'm totally fascinated by it. So there's this old story that during in 1982, Atari made more ET cartridges for the 2600 than they had 2600s on the market. They made 5 million cartridges, and there were only 3 million 2600s on the market. So there's this story. The story goes that they had too many Pac-Man cartridges because that game sucked. The Atari version of it sucked. And E.T. is probably one of the worst video games of all time because you're E.T., you walk around a forest, you fall in a pit, and then you like stretch your neck to fly out. It doesn't make any sense. It's awful. It was made in 3 months. So they had too many of these cartridges, so they decided to drive them all to this landfill in New Mexico, roll over them with a steamroller, and then case it in cement. It's this big urban legend in video games. Well, this documentary crew has got a license for a 6-month excavation at the landfill in New Mexico to see if they can actually find these cartridges and put the legend to rest. So video games finally has its Al Capone's vault. I'm really excited about it.
Or like the tomb of
Tutankhamun?
Tut.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they'll get cursed.
Or maybe they'll get a Steve Martin novelty song out of it, like King Tut got. King Tut. All right. Well, that wraps it up for this week's episode of WTFN. If you liked what you saw, leave a comment down below, or better yet, subscribe to the channel. For TFN, I'm Scott Bromley, and this
is Annie.
And we will see you guys in 4 hours.
See ya.
Yeah. Peace.
Boom.
Bam.
Bam.
Like that? Bam.
Just start ending every episode.
Every episode just bam. even
hey, here's some info about the NSA spying operation.
Bam. Hey, y'all, Steve Jobs died. Bam.